Welcome back to the Fox Files. This is number 12. We'll be talking about fracking. Fracking in this one. How it connects into the climate change we've just finished talking about in the previous chapter. We spoke about the possibility of these old writings and their descriptions of another planet coming into the neighborhood, and then the New Jerusalem coming in as well with the Messiah. We've spoke about that. Just imagine the upheaval on the planet. We're told everywhere that the earthquakes and volcanoes are going to definitely be singing like a choir when this happens. And Mark tells us that man's heart fails with what's going on, so it's going to be quite big. And you don't want to bear to think about it, then I suggest you don't listen. But we're getting into some very prickly issues. But if climate change is the reason they are saying you can't drive your Cadillac to get your pizza, or your 4x4 into the mountains, or you can't take a flight, or they wish to monitor your carbon use, why are they fracking? If they don't want you using gas or gasoline or any other fossil fuels, why have they continued fracking? Now, let's just have a hypothesized look at this for a moment. Let's just imagine a scenario that might happen. If another planet does come into the neighborhood, and if you read Baruch, chapter 58, verse 9, you'll see that Moses had been informed of earths, plural, to come. Not the one he was wandering around on, to come. Earths, plural. So, let's imagine that you dug big holes vertically into the earth, into the bedrock. Then you horizontally drilled along, filled it with sand and different brine water and salty water and whatever else you fill it with, and chemicals and goodness knows what. After you've exploded the ground and cracked it everywhere and just left that there. Now you've got a map of where the ground is cracked and primed, ready to make a pseudo quartz, if you like. The sand they're putting in is silica. Quartz is basically silica. So whatever else they're adding, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But then they have a map on where they're going to get the quartz blows, where the gold will be. That is my opinion of that. So if they don't want us to be using fossil fuels and gas, why would they be fracking other than that? So it fits that scenario that they know what's coming. Then if we have a look at who's fracking, we find Halliburton and the swamp critters are there. The same ones that make money off the wars and keep everybody under control. The same Yale'ites, Harvardites, Oxfordites. It's them again. They're fracking. And a lot of the materials that's used for fracking comes out of Russia. So that's all still going on. A bit like Heinz ketchup is still for sale in Russia. All the corporations, most of them are still there. They've all done their hair different, but they are there. So there is a bigger picture than they are showing the plebs. That's us. They don't want us to see this. As I said, if Noah knows about what's coming, Enoch knows about what's coming, Baruch knows about what's coming, Jesus knew what was coming and went through a great deal of trouble for us, then it explains why they're hostile to all that information going to us. And as I said, they are trying to destroy the history in the books getting to us, but fracking goes on through everything quietly going on, and it's the same critters. Gold, gold, gold is my guess there. Otherwise, must be another reason why they still want to spend money on dragging out fossil fuels, while at the same time they're saying you can't have them. We're going to price you out of them. Prohibitive pricing is a UN. Oh, they love that. They just love it. That's one of their tools in their kit they just love using, along with lying and misinformation and disinformation and everything else they come up with to spin. But fracking goes on regardless. And it is interesting. Very interesting that at the same time that this flood is coming out of the dragon, we're told that we have this crew who destroy the earth going on. I doubt whether fracking is very good for the earth. Probably much worse cracking all the bedrock of the crust around the place, on huge volumes of it getting cracked. That, to me, is a complete enigma inside a puzzle, unless it fits into this son of Helios coming into the neighborhood and upsetting everything. Then it makes sense. Look who's involved with fracking. Look who's involved with supplying the militaries through the military industrial complex. You'll find the same there again. It just seems too much of a coincidence, because when coincidence serves a pattern, it is no longer coincidence. And once it proves to be what it is, it's no longer a theory. So they can't brand everybody a conspiracy theorist because they have disclosed what's going on. They don't like people disclosing what's going on. They put them in jail like Assange and just leave them there and throw the key away, which is that's just shows you what they will do. And if you're lucky, you get away like Snowden and go to Russia. They are trying to, as I've said before, kill the cultures that stand up to them, and the Slavs are one. They started on them with Milosevic and under Clinton, and they've kept picking away at them. They've managed to contaminate Ukraine by the look of it, and now Ukraine has been destroyed. Quite a big industrial nation taken over by the useless idiots on behalf of the puppeteers, and now look at it. Just a shame. But anyhow, have a look at fracking. Have a look at who is involved with fracking, and you will find that footprints of the same characters. Just a coincidence, and that's just my opinion. But it's definitely worth looking at. That's fracking.